This is the story of a man named Daniel, a story I am going to tell you, and once you hear it, you may never look at a mirror the same way again. Daniel was an ordinary man, living alone in a small apartment in the city. He worked as a graphic designer, spent most of his time in front of a screen, and had very few friends. He was a quiet, simple person. But one night, something changed. It started when he bought an antique mirror from an old thrift store. It was large, with a dark, wooden frame carved with strange symbols. The shopkeeper, an old woman with deep wrinkles and tired eyes, hesitated when selling it to him. "Are you sure you want this?" she asked. "Mirrors like this, they hold things." Daniel laughed, brushing off her words as an old woman's superstition. He took the mirror home and hung it on his bedroom wall. It looked perfect there. But that night, as he was getting ready for bed, he noticed something strange. His reflection. It didn't move the way it should have. He lifted his hand to touch his hair, and in the mirror, his reflection was just a fraction slower. A barely noticeable delay. It sent a chill down his spine, but he told himself he was just tired. He turned off the light and went to bed. The next morning, the mirror seemed normal again. He got ready for work, watching himself in the glass as he adjusted his tie. Everything seemed fine. But later that night, as he was brushing his teeth, he saw it again. The reflection, slightly delayed, almost watching him. For the next few days, the delay in the mirror grew worse. Sometimes, when he walked past, his reflection didn't move at all. It just stood there staring at him with cold, unblinking eyes. Daniel tried to ignore it. He told himself it was his imagination, a trick of the light, maybe even stress. But deep down, he knew something was wrong. One night, he decided to test it. He raised his right hand in front of the mirror. His reflection did the same. Then, he moved his left hand. The reflection followed. He smiled at it. The reflection didn't smile back. Daniel's heart pounded. He took a step back. His reflection remained still for a moment before suddenly moving, too fast, catching up to him. In an unnatural way, he stumbled back onto his bed, breathing heavily. This wasn't possible. That night, he covered the mirror with a bedsheet. He didn't want to see it anymore. He couldn't. But sleep didn't come easy. He felt something watching him from under the sheet. A presence. The air was heavy, thick with something unseen. At around 3 a.m., he heard a sound. A soft, slow tapping. Tap, tap, tap. He turned on the lamp, his heart hammering. The sound was coming from the mirror, from behind the glass. He could see the sheet moving, shifting slightly. Something was trying to get out. Daniel didn't know what to do. He grabbed his phone, thinking about calling someone. But who would? Believe him? Who could help him? His mind raced. Then, slowly, the tapping stopped. Silence filled the room. He sat there frozen until morning. When daylight came, he finally gathered the courage to remove the sheet. The mirror was empty. No reflection. Just a blank black surface. And then, as he watched, his reflection faded back in, grinning at him with a twisted, unnatural smile. It lifted its hand, not in a wave, but in a slow, mocking gesture. It wasn't him anymore. It was something else. Daniel ran. He grabbed his car keys and drove straight to the thrift store. The old woman was there, waiting for him. It was as if she knew he would return. "You saw it, didn't you?" she said softly. He nodded, breathless, terrified. "What is it? What's wrong with the mirror?" She sighed, looking at the mirror in his hands. "It's not the mirror. It's what's inside it. Some reflections. They don't just reflect, they watch. And sometimes, they want to switch places." Daniel felt cold all over. "How do I get rid of it?" he asked desperately. The old woman shook her head. Once it's seen you, once it's chosen you, it never really leaves. You can destroy the mirror, but that won't destroy it. Daniel couldn't believe what he was hearing. He took the mirror and smashed it on the ground. The glass shattered into countless pieces, but even in the shards, he could still see his reflection, staring back at him, grinning. The old woman put a hand on his shoulder. "Be careful," she whispered. "Even without the mirror, sometimes the reflection stays." Daniel never bought another mirror again, but even in the windows, in puddles on the street, in the darkened screen of his phone, he always saw it, a shadow of himself, watching, waiting. And sometimes, just sometimes, it moved when he didn't. So next time you look in the mirror, watch closely. Because if your reflection ever lags, even for just a second, you might not be alone.